turn on studio. What's up, y'all? This is Henny. And man, I've been inspired, man. I'm constantly always trying to redo my setup. And I know, like y'all, we're always perfectionists when it comes to our YouTube surroundings, how it looks, how we have it set up, and how we can get the best video quality when we come talking to y'all. This is my 2020 quarantine bedroom YouTube setup. Let's get into it. Let's go!
The business.
So yeah, I was literally just starting to watch Peter McKinnon's new 2020 YouTube setup, and I got inspired myself. Because probably like a lot of y'all, we're trying to figure out how to do all of these things, YouTube, business, family, and everything else during these quarantine stay-at-home times, and make sure that we have enough room for what we want to do, what we need to do, what our family needs to do, what our wives, our husbands need to do, and what our children need to do if you have them as well. And so, for the last few months, I had to reposition my studio inside my master bedroom because we're using the loft for, my wife's workspace as well as for the kids as well. And, having kids running around, having fun during summer, it's a lot louder to be able to create videos in a quiet environment. So here I am in my master bedroom for the last few months. I want to show you exactly how I have this set up and all the things that I'm using. So let me, use this little guy, which I'm absolutely loving, the Sony ZV-1, and let me show you exactly how we got this set up. So let me show you this A camera. This is my Fuji X-T3 with the Fuji 23mm f2 lens. And above it on the hot shoe, I have this little device. I forget what it's called, but I'll have the link in the description. And it's basically a little mirror that goes on your hot shoe that you can see bounces up off the screen on the back and is able to show you exactly what's going on. And I like that because when I have my other screen going on, I like to have a clear picture. And this is just my Field World 4K monitor that's going from my XT3 HDMI into the Field World monitor that goes into my computer using the Camlink HD capture card. And I couldn't find the 4K, so I still just have the monitor here. So I just still have the regular one right here, the Camlink regular capture card. And that's going into my Mac Mini 2020. Right here, I have my Yamaha Mixer that I've talked about before. You'll see talk about the video about that, how to set that up. I basically have that all set up right here on this desk. Now, for the top down, I use the RX100 as well as this new ZV-1, and I just kind of clamp that here to be able to do my top-down type videos like that. I like it because it's light and it gives me good quality. I also, if I need more light on the top-down, I have the Aperture Amaron F1 just in case I need a little extra light. If I don't, I set that, I let that off. And for my mic, I have the Shure SM7B going into the Rode boom mic arm. And I love it because I can use it in a podcast mode, and I can also use it as a drop down to be able to use that as my main mic for my YouTube videos. And that is going into my Yamaha Mixer, right? And that is feeding back into the camera. So I have the mic going into the mixer, and that's feeding back into the camera, but I also have it feeding into the Mac Mini back here so that I can also do my live stream. So I got it all kind of set up crazy. And if you want to know more about that, just let me know. For monitoring, I have the IK Multimedia iLouds. I have the MTMs in the other room, a review coming on that soon. And for my main key light, I have the Falcon Eyes SO28TD. And I just have a little bit of, this came from an old light, and I just kind of put it over the top, and so that I could have a little bit more softer light coming directionally at
me. So that's kind of basically the whole setup in my desk situation. But let me tell you exactly why I wanted to make this video. So when I was watching Peter McKinnon's video, he talked about a dark and a light mode, and it literally just clicked in my mind like, oh man, I need to try that because I have this. It's basically, a backdrop that I've been using for my Zoom calls. And instead of using it as a backdrop, I used it to block out the light for my video to make it a dark mode, right? And so if you can see, it's pretty dark in here now, but if I was to take that backdrop off and put it behind me, it would be a completely different look in this video. So that's basically what made me want to try to set that up. And once I set that up, I was like, you know what? I got to try this. So I just finished editing the last video talking about my iPad Mini 5. And what I also use is the Amaron ALM9 to kind of give, if I kind of just want to show off anything on my desk and I don't want to use this big light, I can kind of show it off like that, maybe show off the keys or something like that. And it's basically just on a little magic arm with my Manfrotto little tripod, and that just kind of running all together here. So this is my desk setup along with this light, which is the Yangyo, damn, I don't know how to say that shit. The Yangyo YN360 3, which I use for two different purposes, right? It can sometimes give me a little fill light on the side of my face if I'm just doing a video like this without any backdrop, or if I'm using a backdrop, I'll put it towards the backdrop and it'll allow me to kind of give the backdrop a little bit of a gradient. I'll show you both examples in the video. So now let me show you a little bit more of my background lights and what I did to kind of create some little atmosphere in the background. Over here, we just have a light that my wife brought into our room, and it has a nice soft orangey vibe, and I just put our candles right underneath it to kind of light the candles up in the background. Now the candles aren't lit at any time. It's just the lamp reflecting off the glass and the these candles to be able to give it that little vibe right there. So that's basically just a little way to kit, when I want a little bokeh and a little, light in the background from my left or right side, whatever which way it is. That's basically how that's set up. And then I just got these fairy lights and I just kind of wrapped them around the room, the main door. And so that it'll give me a little extra bit of bokeh-liciousness on my lights. I don't know why I said it like that, but that's basically those lights that I have outlined the master bedroom door. And then over here, we just have a plant here. And what I have is two Hue blooms, Philip Hue light blooms, and I just positioned them on each side. And I have one red and then one blue because they're basically on the opposite sides of the color spectrum. And it kind of gives this cool little gradient from blue to red that I use for the backdrop of my lights. That's basically it. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally in the bedroom, but I'm getting it done because at the end of the day, we got to make sure the work doesn't stop. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of you out there have been frustrated. A lot of us out there have been trying to figure out a way to kind of get back into a routine of creating and grinding and doing our business work with all the craziness and madness that's in the world. And, sometimes we got to look back, be thankful for what we have, or be thankful for our family, our friends, and our loved ones, and know that we will get through this and that we have to do our best to do our part, not only not only in these crazy times and figuring out what's the best way to go about changing this world, but also figure out what's best for you and your family to be able to provide and maintain a certain level of great energy in the circles that you have. So that's that. Let me just wrap this video up right now. All right. So that's basically it. This is the setup. This is how I have it going. Let me turn off this light right here. Let me show you that light. Boom, and then turn it off. Right now I'm shooting 4K 420. I think it's 400 megabits per second on the
XT3, and it works very seamlessly on my iPad Pro using LumaFusion. So don't think that is something that you can't do using a device like this and, you know, something like the iPad. But all in all, man, we're here. We're building a relationship with each other, and I wanted to make sure that I just gave you a sense of what's going on literally in my house and how I'm able to continuously get things moving, even though we had to, you know, shuffle some things around. That's kind of how this year's been going. You're just going to have to be adaptable to change and try to be the change that you want to see in the world. So that's it. 2 for 2 today. Hey, why not, right? Let's just keep this going. Catch y'all next time. Head him out! Oh. That was crazy. Just threw off the whole camera. My bad. Head him out!